Few minutes, I want us to meditate on these verses of God. These verses are on hope and are taken from Guru Granth Sahib, the sacred book of Sikhs. These were initially written in Punjabi, but these are translated in English so that the message of God reaches to everyone. You are my Savior everywhere. I have placed my conscious awareness in you, and I am saved. In fear, no one praises you. One who is pleasing to you is approved. Whatever is asked of the Lord and Master, He gives that, and even more. In the realm of hope, righteousness, truth, and contentment are established. Without them, there is destruction. The Lord is the truest of the true, the giver of peace. In His sanctuary, my soul finds comfort. Those who remain always in hope and keep their consciousness immersed in the one Lord, the divine light shines within them. In the name of the Lord finds peace, and through His grace receive the treasures of hope. In the company of the holy, hope is awakened, and the mind is imbued with the essence of love. In the hope of Nam, the name of the Lord, find refuge and be liberated from the circle of birth and death. The Lord, the source of all hope, bestows blessings upon those who surrender to His will. With the Guru's guidance, cultivate hope, righteousness, and selfless service. Thus, the divine presence is realized. Those who meditate on the Lord with hope and devotion attain a state of bliss and peace. With hope in the divine, the mind is illuminated and the soul rejoices in the eternal love of the Creator. In the sanctuary of the Guru, find hope and solace, for the Guru dispels all darkness. Through the Guru's teachings, discover the path of hope, leading to the eternal abode of the Lord. With unwavering hope in the Creator, transverse the journey of life and find fulfillment in divine love. In the embrace of Guru's wisdom, find hope, and let the radiant light of truth illuminate your path. In the ocean of God's love, find hope, and swim across the currents of worldly attachments. With hope in the divine guidance, surrender to the Lord's will and experience the tranquility of the soul. In the remembrance of the Lord, find hope, and let His grace guide you through life's challenges. With the Guru's teachings as a beacon of hope, navigate the ocean of existence and reach the shores of liberation. In the company of the holy, kindle the flame of hope and let it dispel the darkness of ignorance. Through the Nam, the name of the Lord, find hope and witness the blossomings of spiritual wisdom. With hope in the Creator's mercy, surrender your ego and experience the divine grace that flows abundantly. In the divine court of love, hope is the currency, and the treasure of eternal bliss is bestowed upon the sincere seeker. With hope in the Lord's benevolence, offer your prayers and witness the shower of divine blessings. With hope in the one Creator, let go of the world's worldly anxiety and find peace in the divine embrace. In the garden of the Guru's wisdom, plant the seeds of hope and watch the flowers of divine love bloom. Through the hymns of devotion, cultivate hope and let the melody of the divine connect your soul to the eternal. With hope in the Lord's grace, surrender your burdens and experience the lightness of being. In the remembrance of the Nam, find hope and let the divine melody resonate in the chambers of your heart. Through the Guru's teachings, discover the fountain of hope and drink from the nectar of spiritual wisdom. In the company of the holy, find hope, and let the fragrance of divine virtues permeate your being. With hope in the eternal truth, embrace the path of righteousness and experience the joy of divine communion. In the sanctuary of the Guru, find hope and let the Guru's wisdom be a guiding star in your journey. With hope in the Creator's mercy, navigate the stormy seas of life and find solace in the tranquil harbor of divine love. Through the divine Naam, find hope and let the echoes of celestial music resonate in your soul. In the Guru's presence, kindle the flame of hope and let it illuminate the darkness of ignorance, leading to the realm of divine light. These are some of the verses which has been taken from Guru Granth Sahib, and these are based on hope. So as you can see, the importance of hope. So normally when we go through life's circumstance, we generally become very we usually embrace the darkness and we forget that there is something called hope, and something which you don't have to do anything about. You just need to believe in God and His presence, and you need to embrace that there's someone who is always there for you. That good power, that power which has your back, that is God, and that comes from God, and He's the one who brings light to this world. So even when we are in the most bad phase of our life, or even when we have so many anxieties and we are unable to surrender those anxieties to anyone, we don't need to find a human being to surrender those anxieties, because human beings come with limitations. But then there's God, whose presence is so readily available, who we can go back to. So as you see, these verses are all about when you are offering devotion to God, when you are sitting in the presence of God, or when you are singing worship songs, you should surrender yourself to Him. You should know that you are coming with your problems, but you are leaving with the solutions, and that God listens to all your problems. God listens to all your whatever you feel. He knows that you're going through a lot of bad times. He knows that what you want. He knows your prayers, and He knows the answers as well. So you need to really trust that, because in all these things which we are doing, if we are able to surrender, and if we are able to at least embrace this one truth, that whoever I'm talking to is a real person. Like for example, I make this podcast, and I usually, whenever I make a podcast, I usually think that yes, someone will be listening to my podcast, and I might be helping someone. So I have that intention in my mind when I create a podcast, or when I create a YouTube video. So just in the same way, when you come to God with your problems or with your prayers, you need to really trust Him that He has the answer, and He's listening to you, and whatever you want will come to you in the designated time, or in the divine timing. So you don't have to do anything or take action, because I would say that there are certain situations when we try our level best. Through our own power, we try to solve something and it doesn't solve. So, that's the thing. That's where God steps in, and that's where God is eternal and the most powerful. So that's why we need God, because He's readily available to us. He casts all our anxieties, and He takes away all the anxieties from us, and He gives a comfort, a solace. So whenever you pray to God, one thing which is very important, that you should trust that whatever you're praying is going to come to you. There's a divine timing for everything. You really need to trust that. And second thing is this, that you need to really surrender in this journey. You cannot do things in your own power all the time. So when you need to take actions, that also God will instruct you. So you really need to listen to the voice of God. Okay? So that is the thing. And also there are two types of voices inside our mind. One is the voice of the devil, which is always saying negative about you, which is always trying to, whatever destiny God has for us, Destiny is something like, I don't mean destiny in the form of something is designated and whatever, maybe I try my level best and I cannot change my destiny. I don't mean destiny that way. What I mean by destiny is our dominant thoughts. Our dominant thoughts lead us to what we are meant to have. So if we want to change the way things are going on, we need to really change our thinking. Otherwise there's no point doing this manifestation techniques, meditations. It really doesn't make any difference if we can't change our thinking. So I know that it's very difficult. So when I was trying to change my thinking from negative to positive, to a person who is full of hope all the time, or is trying to help others on the topic of hope and faith, it was really difficult for me because I had a different mentality before this. So it really does take time, but there's something called neuroplasticity. So the more you repeat something, the more you say, for example, if you want to be placed somewhere, for example in a multinational company, so you need to really tell yourself every morning that I'm placed in a multinational company, and you'll see that eventually when you keep repeating these affirmations, for example, initially you might have to do a lot many times, but then you can reduce. It should not be exhausting you. So when you repeat for example, if you repeat these affirmations for 100 times in the morning, okay, so eventually you see the shift happening. So initially you might be that I really don't believe in myself, but when you keep repeating the same affirmations, then your mindset shifts, and also you have that inner power. You know that you have that strong belief that yes, I can do this. Why not? What's lacking in me? So the same way you need to, if you want to change something, you really need to repeat those affirmations. You really need to believe. You really need to be in the meditative state and think in that version wherein you already have everything you want. So it's like tapping into that consciousness. It's like tapping into that ideal state, and that's what God helps us to do. When you're with Him, He's already listening to you, and He has already given you what you want. So now you can go and embrace that ideal self who already has it. So I hope this helps, and thank you.